It's the bird that tastes like fish. It's chicken and fish all in one. What you should have turned it into is the bird council. They'll give you $2 per bird.
Yep. The bird goes into a re-education camp, and it's kind of morally unethical, but $2 a bird.
And some of the birds go into, you guessed it, a stew.
Stew, yes.
You know, there's a bird. Every city has a bird recycling program. Bird rehab. They teach them to poop on criminals and shit.
Just mean people, give them a worse day, you know? Like that moment a movie villain like gets his butt kicked finally in a kid's movie, and then like he's outside and then the bird poops on him.
Does a duty on him.
They train those birds.
Absolutely.
Gets his butt kicked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you 12?
Yeah. What are you talking about? Are you saying that the ending of all the Spy Kids isn't the villain gets his butt kicked?
Hey, it's Christmas. It's Hanukkah. It's the holidays. You two stop fighting right up.
Sorry, Dad.
All right.
No politics at the table.
I hope the villains do come for you, and you do have to kick their butts, and then you'll see who's laughing. I hope you get harried and or marved. You guys got kind of a Harry and Marv vibe going right now, actually.
Oh, yeah. We
do. Never mind. I guess if you look left and you don't see a Harry, and you look right and you don't see a Marv, you are the Harry or the Marv. Well, this is not a particularly holiday themed. I'm in the spirit, guys. It landed on me like last week.
Happy
I've
Boocember,
been merry.
everyone.
Happy Boocember. Happy pagan Yule. Happy just a merry, cheery time of the year. Adam P in the Zoom room, donning the red cap of Santa, obviously dyed with the ink of his enemies, or the blood of his enemies, I should say.
Yep.
Santa
the red cap of Santa obviously means that Santa is having a menstruation period.
Don't bother him. You know what? It's like a sock on the door, if you know what I mean. I don't. If you know what I mean, write Werewolf Radar at.
Please contact us at our website. Explain what Jordan means to Jordan.
At us if you think I know what I mean.
At Twitter.
I do have some good juicy Boocember content for you guys. This is, as you know, previous listeners will know. This is Boocember. We're bringing back the tradition of ghosts in December and Christmas time, ghost stories, etc. People used to tell ghost stories at Christmas. Did you know that?
I didn't actually. I like ghost stories during Christmas because of A Christmas Carol, but I guess that just follows in that tradition.
There's a line in "It's the most wonderful time of the year," where he goes, "There'll be scary ghost stories and tales of the glory of holiday cheer." And it's like they used to sit around and be like, "Now everybody feeling festive? Well, stop it." It's fear that should be pumping through those veins, and I'll tell you why.
Gather around the fireplace, prepare to be frightened.
Tell you the story of the wet bandits. Kevin was home alone, lost in New York. Okay, so today I want to be telling you guys, I'm going to be going through the different types of ghosts. These are the different types that you hear people talk about. We're going to kind of mix and match them. There seems to be a kind of a categorization of spirits.
Yes.
People rely on. I want you guys to jump in. I want you to keep it punchy. I want you to keep it fresh. And, in case people are listening, this is going to go on the demo reel. So
I was going to take a nap, actually.
Damn it.
I was actually going to cook a stew. It's going to take 14 hours.
You got a seagull. You got some
I got
seagull
some seagulls.
Hot seagull.
All right, we'll make it punchy. We'll improvise. Go on,
this
Jordan.
Is good. Can we get a suggestion from the audience?
9/11.
Okay, we're gonna. You know what? We're gonna blow right through. I heard barbershop, huh? On 9/11.
Great movie, Ted.
These are the types of ghosts as outlined by ghostsandgravestones.com. Sorry.
No, it was good.
That was punchy. I got it. That's what you're going for. Okay.
Yes, please. Do you have a bell?
I have this nail clipper and an Allen wrench.
I thought you were gonna say nail gun.
Ready?
Nice. That's good shit. That's good shit.
The bell tolls. Clip.
Toll for thee. This is the type of shit that climbs the podcast charts. Sound effects.
Also tagging things properly, like tagging podcast in our tag. But anyway, yeah, this is the punchy stuff.
Yeah, hashtag
and you know what
the
most important thing that drives our podcast is, of course, blood. Gallons and gallons of blood that you guys are presumably spilling at home. Ethically obtained blood.
We're not trying to get you to to spill blood. This is ethical blood.
Like
only,
blood,
please.
Blood that you get from the grocery store, from Monstro Coco grocery stores. Monstro Foods? We'll work
Monstro Foods. I was about to say Monstro Foods.
Now, Jordan, what is our first ghost?
So I actually want to read this little intro because the Ghost in Gravestone did a great one. Have you ever seen a ghost?
Yes.
Many of us have weird sensations about seeing shadows or shapes out of the corner of our eye, only for them to disappear when we turn to look. And while you may be one of those people who is not afraid of such a paranormal experience, did you ever stop and wonder just what kind of ghostly apparition you encounter? Was it a thunder type? Maybe a psychic? Or a plant? No, I'm kidding. That was me. Maybe
these new generations suck. It's so confusing.
Steel dark? What is this shit? Maybe, like most folks, you didn't even consider that there could be different kinds of ghosts out there. Fool. The fact is, experts in the field have put together a list of definitions of the types of supernatural phenomena that exist, and it may come in handy, especially if you're making a podcast, and lists are good for that kind of thing.
Lists are great. So this is like a phasmophobia. There's all sorts of ghosts. They fit into categories.
Sure. Well, that's actually what got me thinking about it. Because there are, of course, many different words and phrasing for ghost and spirit kind of throughout folklore, and you may have different definitions depending on what part of the world you're from or what religion you are, this, that, and the other thing. But this is specifically kind of what ghost hunters use to describe an outline phenomenon. Although one of them is a little so
is it Jin?
No.
Jin's unusually racist.
Is it a shade? Is that one of the characteristics of the Jin?
It will say some slurs. Trigger warning.
So one, the interactive personality.
Okay.
The most common of all ghosts spotted is usually of a deceased person. Okay, well, right there.
Yeah, it seems kind of necessary.
But I understand what they mean, because like there's many. As someone who watches the Dead Files all the time, you have many spirits, and there are dead, deceased spirits, and then there's spirits that have always been spirits, and they're trying to attack us all.
An elemental, they call that. We'll get to that.
Sometimes
an inhuman, or sometimes called demonic haunting.
Yes.
The interactive personality, however. The most common of all ghosts spotted is usually of a deceased person, and that's true. But I will say there are instances where people see what is called a doppelganger, or maybe a death specter, where someone was alive or they saw them in their home at a time when they should have been somewhere else. Death specter is a different thing. I'm wrong. But you do hear these stories of like people hearing doppelgangers, or but as we've talked about here on the show, maybe that's not a person at all. That's something pretending to be a person. Anyway,
that's what I think all the time. And I think there's an ecosystem. I talk about it all the time. There's an ecosystem, and like we're just part of it. And when we die, we become food for another thing, or we become stronger and feed on other entities. It's wild after life.
Hey, look, I'm practicing by eating rats now.
Yep, you're getting there. You paid attention to the book.
Absolutely. The most common of all ghosts is a deceased person, someone you know, a family member, or perhaps even a historical figure. Oh, Abraham Lincoln. Hello there. These ghosts can be friendly or not. but often show themselves to others in a variety of ways. They can become visible, they can speak or make noises, touch you, or even emit an odor like perfume or cigar smoke. They say that about the Hotel They say that about the Hotel Colorado in Glenwood, that President Teddy Roosevelt is there, walking the halls with his big stick. And you
talking
can
about
smell
how the Philippines need to be oppressed.
the Philippines need to be retaken by a man of order, a Christian man.
Yeah, somebody send Taft.
There's a lot, like hotels specifically.
But they say you can smell his cigar smoke.
Yeah, that happens. Like hotels, something about hotel ghost. They're stinky, man. Like ghost in hotels.
Okay,
the Oxford Hotel has a lot of ghosts that emit unique smells.
Sure.
I would really like to make that weird archetype, or like a slur for hotel ghosts.
Fucking hotel ghosts stinking up the place. No, truly though. Yeah, T-Rose stinking it up. You smell that perfume sometimes. Slimer, he was particularly stinky. He was a hotel ghost, as I recall. Anyway, perfume, cigar smoke, etc. to let you know their experts say that this type of ghost retains its former personality of when they were alive and can feel emotions. And often they are visiting you to comfort you or let you know something important.
But like what? Well, I mean, you could find out a lot, because the afterlife, I bet, has all sorts of knowledge. Like they probably can see the future just a little bit, and they can I think no.
They have knowledge of the previous time when they were alive.
I mean, they
just have worthless old knowledge.
But I've heard tales of ghosts like telling people that you're like giving them a vision of cancer or something. They go to the doctor and they're like, "Oh, thank God I went to the doctor after this dream." That's
kind of seeing the present, though. It's like I've heard stories about like a ghost waking someone up, like there's something wrong with the baby, and they're like, "What? Who the fuck?" And then they disappear and they go check on the baby, and there was he got a hold of a cigar. The ghost of Teddy Roosevelt gave it to him. Ha cha 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 cha. Anyway.
But either way, the ghost world might have more information. Like they can look farther into the future than we can in the present as humans.
Number 2.
Oh, ghostly 2.
The ectoplasm or ectomist. Ever seen
I think I've seen one of these.
Oh, ever seen a mist or fog that almost looks like it's swirling?
Yes.
Churling. Fnurmling. If so, you may be witnessing what paranormal investigators deem as an ectomist or a ghostly mist. This vaporous cloud usually appears several feet off the ground and can move swiftly or simply stay still, almost like it's orbiting. These ghostly encounters have been captured on many videos and in photographs and can be white, gray, or even black. Although they can simply appear this way, linger, then move away quickly. Sometimes ectoplasms appear before becoming a full-bodied apparition. Many people have witnessed them outdoors in graveyards, battlefields, and historical sites.
I saw mine in my bedroom and then a blood-curdling scream, and I do not enjoy any of it.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, but no one else woke up, so I thought it was a dream, but I think about it to this day.
I had a similar situation where I woke up to what I thought was a really loud noise, and and then it was something else.
See, no. I woke up for some reason, and then I saw this blue mist that was kind of swirling.
Interesting.
And then this blood-curdling scream that I assumed was a woman.
A blood-curdler.
And then I passed out. I don't remember what happened. All I remember is I'm here now. And 15 years have passed. What happened to me, Jordan? No, but I was 10 at the time or some shit.
That wasn't your scream. That was a scream coming out of the mist.
Yeah, I didn't see a scream. I heard a scream leave a mist, and then I don't remember what happened the rest, but I assume it vanished or I passed out from fear.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Cray for sure.
That is triple cray. Wow. It's weird. We've never heard that story before.
I mention it sometimes. I talk about the mist.
We have a paranormal podcast. I would think that would come up. First the clowns, now the mist.
So I talk about the clowns all the time. And this happened in the same apartment.
AKA Glockney.
Yeah, Glockney here. I think I lived in a very haunted apartment for a short time in my life.
It does seem like the clowns are getting all of the press.
It's because the clown was the most frightening. Anyway, poltergeist, Jordan.
The poltergeist. Perhaps one of the most popular terms most of us has heard when it comes to ghosts. The word poltergeist actually means noisy ghost because it is said to have the ability to move or knock things over. This is your classic mug hooker.
Yes, mug hooker, which is offensive.
Yes, a slur we invented also.
So let's come up with slurs for each of these. The interactive personality, I think, is probably an Abe.
Yeah.
That's fucking Abe Lincoln over here. The ectoplasm or ectomist is let's call it a sneeze guard.
I like that one.
I was gonna go swirler.
Fart walker.
That just hurts. That doesn't seem fun.
Poltergeist is a mug hooker, obviously.
Yeah.
While many of us have heard the term before, poltergeist is actually one of the rarest forms of hauntings, and to many, the most terrifying.
It gets the most press. That's why I think it's so famous.
Loud knocking sounds.
It ends up just being a poltergeist.
All right, well.
Yes.
The podcast's over.
Yeah, we're done.
That's enough. Loud knocking sounds, lights turning on and off, doors slamming, even fires breaking out mysteriously have all been attributed to this type of spiritual disturbance. Another frightening aspect of poltergeist is that the event usually starts out slowly and mildly and then begins to intensify. And while many times poltergeist activity is harmless and ends quickly, they have been known to actually become dangerous. Some experts explain it as a mass form of energy that a living person is controlling unknowingly.
Yes, that's what
whatever the case may be, poltergeists have caught the attention of paranormal enthusiasts and experts, scientists, and many others who are just plain curious. Now, this is actually the plot to the movie Poltergeist. A mass form of energy unknowingly being controlled by a person is the plot to the movie Poltergeist.
Who was it controlled by?
The little girl.
That little girl.
Carol Ann. Carol Ann's always playing around, fussing around
with these spirit energies.
Poking around in the spirit realm. Carol Ann, is this your portal in here?
Well, clean up your portal. You know what you let in. It's more than just cats, Carol Ann.
Okay, number 4, and this is contested. This is the one that got me. I was like, or I'm against them. Orbs. Okay.
Orbs?
I'm against orbs.
Well, is orbs its own spiritual entity? Or
these are just
they are.
Just a manifestation.
This is basically just good. People think they are how a camera interprets spiritual energy that it can't understand. How it interprets light that it can't understand. Orbs are probably the most photographed type of anomaly. They appear as transparent and a translucent ball of light that is hovering over the ground. Many ghost hunters and guests on ghosts and gravestones are surprised to see them in their photos. It is believed that orbs, I think Ghosts and Gravestones is a podcast or like a fucking YouTube show or some shit. It is believed that orbs are the soul of a human or even an animal that has died and is traveling around from one place to another. The circular shape they take on makes it easier for them to move around and is often the first state they appear in before they become a full-bodied apparition. If you're lucky enough to capture an orb on video, you'll be amazed at how fast they can move. In photographs, they are usually white, but can be blue as well. Bullshit. Sorry.
So this is like a
bullshit.
It's a ghost egg, basically.
A ghost egg, exactly. This is what ghosts hatch from. They hatch from these. Now, here's the thing. Orbs, as in like what they photograph on ghost hunters, and everybody's like, look right there. What is that? What's that moving? It's dust or a bug.
It's almost always dust.
Yeah, it's typically a pretty refractive piece of dust.
Yes. Now,
I've seen some weird shit too.
Now, grave lights, ghost lights, spook lights, These are things that are attributed to like ball lightning. And what they're describing here is more like that. You see them in Colorado, specifically up near Conifer. There's a place that I can never remember the name of, Silver Pine or something. Silver Cliff, maybe, that has this cemetery that famously has these ghost lights that will go back and forth between them. I did a camp out there. It was crazy. We didn't see shit.
Yeah,
but
you were up with the Crypto Science Society, right?
Crypto Science Society, shout out. Absolutely. So, I mean, that is kind of a paranormal, what we classify as paranormal phenomena, ball lightning, just because we don't understand it. And I think it's been linked with kind of graveyards for a while, will-o'-the-wisp, that type of thing. You guys know about the will-o'-the-wisp. I told y'all.
You know.
Number 5, and the final one listed on the Ghosts and Graveyard site is funnel ghosts. And I've seen these a couple of times.
What is that? Like a delicious fried dough
it's
version of a ghost?
Form ghosts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They say funnel ghosts, most often spotted in homes or old historical buildings. The funnel ghost, or vortex, is frequently associated with a cold spot. They usually take on the shape of a swirling funnel, and most paranormal experts believe that they are a loved one returning for a visit or even a former resident of the home. Appearing as a wisp of light or a swirling spiral of light, they are often caught in photographs or on video.
Interesting. I've seen some photos of these guys.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you have.
They look like a vortex.
Yeah, it looks like a little swirly thing of light in like some normal photographs.
It almost looks like a fucking like DNA strand. Like, remember the DNA strand from the Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
The guy goes, I know DNA. Right?
I like that you both had Jurassic Park as your localized DNA.
Where did you learn about
reference.
DNA?
Hey, look, there's a reason we all have a podcast together. So we're going to move on to types of hauntings, because that's a little bit easier to classify. And this types of ghost thing, this is the first time I've ever heard of this funnel ghosts specifically.
I thought they were actually aliens. Like, there's another school of thought about these to where they're actually like interdimensional beings going, like, this is just what they look like and they're in a different dimension.
Listen, dog, we're trying to jar the wind here, baby.
That's right. I guess you're right.
We're in the ether, man. This is types of hauntings as reported by haunteddoc.com, and then I'll get out of here. I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible. This is the one I should have started with, quite frankly. But residual haunting activity. You guys might have heard that term thrown around. Residual haunting activity can occur when something traumatic or stressful occurs, such as a murder. Negative energy is literally blasted into the atmosphere, causing the atmosphere to imprint or record the events. Like a recording tape, it will play the events over and over again. The entities involved in this residual haunting activity are unaware of their surroundings. This is not a belligerent haunting. This is not an intelligent haunting. There is no interaction between you and the entity. Residual haunting activity can also be caused by positive energy blasted into the atmosphere. Many times you've heard of ghost stories where people can hear the sounds of a party. They hear music, singing, dancing, laughter. And when they enter the room where they hear the party, there's no one there.
Neat.
Residual haunting activity can be the specters of living beings.
And that also just sounds like a lot of people were ghosted by their friends.
Sure. Shut up. Here comes. Shut up, tuck down. And then they forgot the surprise part. It happens to me all the time. That's
in our Discord, Audric hit us up with a question. Do you think there's any COVID related ghost? And I was all like, is that enough time for it to pass? But I guess like, nah, it doesn't matter. Like, I bet there's all sorts of, because it's traumatic enough. There could be plenty of these ghosts, like you just mentioned.
290,000 COVID ghosts. Ghosties.
First of all, it's Adric, hard A.
Okay, hard A, my bad.
Secondly, most of all, COVID-19?
Ghost?
Like Ghostvid-19? Govid-9 Scream? I don't know. Yeah, I'm sure there will be. I'll bet there are some COVID ghosts ghosting around. You know?
We haven't heard of any yet.
Wear a mask. We'll keep a look. We'll keep an eye out. Thanks, Edric. Poltergeist activity. Most of the time, this is what I was looking for with the poltergeist activity. Most of the time, In the case of a poltergeist, the haunting circles around a female in her teen years. This is one of the leading theories. Some of the cases seem to be caused by the female unknowingly controlling the energy around herself, like a Jean Grey, a bit of a
baby
Phoenix.
Jean Grey,
kind of a hysteria.
Some cases, I did not. She's hysterical. Sir, I've tracked the ghost to your wife's monthlies.
Ghost hunting of the 1950s. It's your wife's monthlies, sir.
I propose you trap her in a coffin, freeze it. That'll knock some sense into her. Some of these cases seem to be caused by blah, blah, blah. Some cases happen around people that are stable and in the right mind space. So they're making a big leap saying that no teenage girl is stable or in the right mind space. But hey, listen, teenage years are hard.
They are.
This haunting is the idea behind this theory is that adolescents going through puberty, specifically people who are, experiencing high anxiety, high emotions, their bodies are changing, parts of their brain might be lighting up in different ways than we are used to, and the idea is that they are causing or somehow provoking a spiritual entity, or maybe even telekinesis themselves. They are the mug hucker, the calls were coming from inside the house kind of thing,
which is what I believe. I think the teens, boy and girl, got a lot of powers with all that angst and energy and mind connectivity, you said.
And this is what I was going to say, in the majority of provable, big quotation marks, poltergeist cases have unwaveringly been centered around a teenage girl, an adolescent girl, which is very strange.
It is.
This haunting is hard to classify, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we're going to move on. Demonic activity.
Ooh.
Demons are entities that never had a human form. Origins, extraterrestrial. Why? If you believe that God and his angels are from the heavens, that would make them extraterrestrial. If Satan and a third of the angels rebelled against God's kingdom, and Satan and a third of the angels became demons, are also extraterrestrial. All right. That is why they never had a human mortal form. Einstein said that E equals MC2. And energy can be converted into matter and matter into energy. Demons are pure energy entities. They are described in 3 different ways. 1, as angelic, a being of beauty that will manipulate the person to commit something that is sinful or out of the ordinary.
Nice.
2, horrific, evil looking. Some people claim they have seen demons that are incredibly hideous to look at. I do believe demons do this for a scare effect. They know that what we fear, and this is not their true appearance. 3, black mist, black fog, black shadow, black smoke. Most demonic hauntings, the occupants claim to be followed by black mist or black fog. 4, again, horrific, evil looking. You did that one twice. Some people claim they've seen demons that are incredibly hideous to look at. This is literally the exact same one as number 2. Okay. Number 5, black mist, black fog. They're just repeating them. This is hysterical.
We want to stress redundancy in some languages and cultures is just another increase of the layer. It's extra black mist and fog.
These creatures are very strong, unlike human spirits, and they don't mind showing it. There have been cases where people have been thrown through the air and even attacked. Apparently, their main goal is to break down a person's free will in order to make way for possession. They can take days, months, or years, but time is of no concern to them. They have a hatred for mankind that dates back to the days of God and Lucifer. They have lived for millennia and will be here long after we are gone. So, wait, what is this? They could go to the next place down the road if they choose. Most likely they won't, because distance is not an issue for these creatures. They could go from Maine to California on a thought. Okay. So this person is obviously taking some liberties, but there are some interesting classifications there. A lot of us will hear this classified as the elemental or the inhuman entity, which is itself an intelligent haunting. But Roger described this as an ecosystem, the etheric plane, if you will.
Yes, is a huge ecosystem just like we have here, man. And then spirit energies are being fed upon by other beings. Even us in this realm are being fed upon by other realms.
Right. And the idea, some people will say that these elemental entities, these demonic entities will try to frighten you because that is their food. The food that they crave is emotion. It is fear. In some cases, it's joy. In some cases, it's like sexual energy, which is where you get your kind of sleep paralysis experiences, things like that. What do they call them?
Old
the
hag?
succubuses and the incubuses. But I think this person is making a lot of assumptions based on their religion. But there is kind of a secular scientific view of this, as these are the predators in that ecosystem. These are the things that feed on negative emotions or sometimes positive emotions. Hey, listen, if you find a swinging pirate ghost who really gets you off, go ahead and let them feed on that weird sex energy that you're having.
Then divorce them when things go bad. That's what's great about modern America.
But by and large,
that's what's great about piracy.
Don't let these fucking bloodsuckers bleed you dry. Sage your apartment. That's what I'm saying.
If the ghosts love you, he'll go past the sage, baby.
That's for a little bit of that's the end of my segment. I'm calling Ghostemon, which tells you some of the types of ghosts that you could encounter out there, some of the types of hauntings. So stay sharp, categorize correctly, sage your apartment.
I think that sounds very what we should all do, to be honest. Every time you move in, sage that apartment. Nate, do you want the speaking orb first, or shall I have